Hey viewers, good morning. It's Tuesday here on the Pagan Perspective. I'm your host, Kara, and I decided it'd be cool to at least give you an intro clip when I just woke up. This week's topic, this is week four. This week's topic is from this user. I don't know how to pronounce their name, so I'll just put it at the bottom. But they commented, maybe you can all talk about how family and friends react to your pagan practices. And this user has commented about this topic twice, so I thought it's finally time that we do it. And this is a perfect time. So, okay, on my personal channel, I did a pretty long video in response to someone asking me how my family reacted. I did a video with my mom, and actually my brother made a little cameo appearance. And so basically I'll just give you a quick run through of my family, since I have a long video that you can watch on my personal channel. And then I'll mostly focus on friends. So my mom, when I first told her that I was practicing or thinking about practicing, at that point I think I just said I was thinking about it, like I was studying it and starting to learn about it. I was about 13 and I'm 19 now. So I was about 13, but I think I was 16 by the time I actually told her, you know what, I've been practicing Wicca, I am Wiccan, and then by that time she was okay with it, because from the time that I was 13, 14, we had talked about it, and she already told me what she had problems with. And basically, her problems stemmed from the fact that she just didn't know about it. And luckily, my mother is the kind of person who said, okay, well, let me do some research about it, let me talk to people about it. And once she found out that really there was no stigma upon being Wiccan, she was like, okay. But she wouldn't let me call myself a witch, anyway, that was her basic problem, because she felt that all the stigma came with that term. And other than that, you know, I gave her Scott Cunningham's Wicca, The Guide for the Solitary Practitioner. I gave her that book to look at, because I thought it was a really good representation of what I believed. And so she read that, or she read part of it, or whatever, and she already owned Solitary Witch, so she had already read a lot of that. So after reading, she was fine. And I recommend that for anyone, really. I bring the Everything Paganism book to school with me every year, because it has very, very basic outlines of various pagan paths. So I bring that to school with me so that if anyone asks, and, you know, I don't want to have to cover the basics, I'll hand them that book and they can look at whatever they want to look at. And then my little brother, in my video, I asked him, I was like, what do you think about me being pagan or Wiccan? And he was like, I don't even know what that means. Like, he doesn't care, really. So it doesn't matter. The rest of my family, I haven't told them, but if they asked, I would tell them. I'm not gonna broadcast it to them. Like, I wear pentacles, I'm not today, because I was in dance class this morning. But I wear pentacles all the time, pretty much, and I don't hide it just because I'm going to a dinner at my grandma's house. They never ask, so maybe they know, they just don't care to ask. They don't know what it, I don't know what it is, but if they ever asked me, I would talk to them, definitely, but I'm not going to run up to them and say, hey, I'm a witch, and scare them if there's no reason to. So, now moving on to friends. All the friends that I had when I started practicing were good enough friends of mine that they were supportive of it. And some of them were even interested too, like they wanted to study and learn about it with me. Now, they weren't planning on studying it to practice, but a couple of them did want to just learn about it. And so they would have a lot of conversations with me about stuff. And that was good for me, because it also helped me sort of solidify what I knew that I knew. And it helped me to have to articulate my beliefs to other people. when you have to explain it a million times, you get to know exactly what it is that you actually need to say. But I've never had, like, a good friend of mine that I told. I've never had a friend, like, not be okay with it and suddenly stop being my friend. Normally, by the time that conversation comes up with a friendship, we're already such close friends that they don't care about my religion, necessarily. Like, it wouldn't bother them. My boyfriend, however, we talked about our religions before we started dating. Before we even really just, like, in the friendship stage, we already talked about it. So when we started dating, we knew exactly where each other stood. And that's great, because then we didn't have to be like, oh, we're already dating. By the way, I'm a witch. Do you have a problem with that? Are you going to dump me now? What's going on? So we already had that figured out. And I'm trying to think of any instance where someone... Okay, there have been people who are my friends now who weren't necessarily my friends then, but they were friends of friends, who made fun of me for my religion. At the time, I thought it was serious, and it really bothered me. And I really disliked those people because they were just being so ignorant, in my opinion. And it was like, no matter how much I explained to them, just the more and more they would say things like, oh, watch out, Kara's in a bad mood, she's gonna hex you, blah, blah, blah. And it was like, I knew they were kidding and they didn't actually think that's what the religion was about, but it just bothered me so much. But those weren't friends. Not at all. And when it comes to being at school, last year, my freshman year, my roommate was Jewish, and, well, she is Jewish, but she's not my roommate anymore. I had a Jewish roommate last year, and we decorated our door for Hanukkah and Yule over the holiday season. And everyone thought it was awesome. Like, pretty much everyone on the floor was like, oh, it's so cool, we have, like, our resident non-Christians in the same room and whatever. But everyone thought it was cool. It's really nice here. Everyone is really open-minded. I don't put things on my door and stuff like that would make it really obvious that I'm a witch, just because I don't want to scare people away, and I don't want to make people feel uncomfortable. You know, maybe there are some people that if they just saw on someone's door the witch is in or something like that, they would be like, I'm not going to talk to that person. But it's like, if they already know me, they already love me, so they can't really do anything about it. But no, I haven't had any super duper bad experiences with either friends or family. I've been really lucky. And I just take it as it comes. If someone else, if I randomly bring it up in conversation, like I said in another one of my personal videos recently, I was talking about how I randomly met a Buddhist man, and I was wearing a pentacle, and I mentioned that I was planning on going to England next year, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to be in England on Beltane, and it's awesome. And as soon as he heard me say Beltane, he was like, oh, are you Wiccan? And at that point I said, yes, I am. But, it wasn't like he previously mentioned, I'm Buddhist, and I was like, oh, cool, I'm Wiccan. Like, no, it's not appropriate to just bring it up at any time, in my opinion. It's like, if it gradually comes up, if people ask me about it, I am comfortable telling them. I'm pretty sure that one of these days I'm gonna come across someone that's just, like, really, really blatantly against my religion, and they're gonna flip out. But as of right now, I'm around a lot of really nice, accepting people, and I'm grateful for that. And I hope that you, all of you, any of you that are in the broom closet or out of the broom closet or whoever, I hope you always have at least one person in your family and a friend, so, like, separate, that will always understand. You can always go to if someone's being a jerk about it and just talk to them. So, and you always have us. I will see you guys next week, next Tuesday, and until then, blessed be.